Okay, well, I'm so excited to introduce Andrea. Andrea was born and raised in the tropical climate of El Salvador. She moved to the United States to further her education and earned a bachelor's degree in biological sciences with an emphasis in human biology at the University of California, Merced. While in school, Andrea formed part of various pre-med and environmental leadership programs, leading her to spend a season in Yosemite National Park as part of the search and rescue team. Since then, she became fascinated with all the novel research being conducted in the Sierra Nevadas and decided to work as a research assistant for the Sierra Nevada Research Institute, where she decided to then continue her own research project. Andrea finished her master's degree in microbial ecology, incredible, and on top of doing a service term, and has been with Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority. So we're so excited to have Andrea speak now. So I'll pass things over to you.
Thank you, Liza, for the intro. And thank you for everyone that is here today and made time to be here. My name is Andrea Salinas, and today I'm going to be talking about how I spent the past 11 months at the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority. So I'm going to go over my talking points for today. Just so everyone knows, MWPA stands for Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority. I'm probably going to mostly be, from now on, referring to it as MWPA. And first, I'm going to be talking about what the MWPA is. Then I'm going to be talking about the 5 goals of the MWPA and the work that is involved within those 5 goals. Then I'm going to talk about what were my roles and the specific goals that I got to focus on. Then I'm going to be talking about my professional development and trainings during this past 11 months, sorry. And then I'm going to be talking about what's next for me. And lastly, acknowledgements. So what is the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority? So the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority, in summary, coordinates wildfire preparedness and adaptation in Marin County. The MWPA is located in Marin County, which resides in the ancestral lands of the Coast Miwok and Southern Porno peoples. And all the work that the MWPA does is funded by Measure C, which is a tax measure. And this tax measure was passed in the year of 2020. It actually received a lot of support from Marin County voters, around 70%. And the MWPA doesn't know jurisdictional boundaries. So the projects that they implement are across all Marin County. So in the city of Novato, San Rafael, Central Marin, Southern Marin, and West Marin, and is formed by 17 member agencies. And these are all the member agencies of the MWPA. So it ranges from mostly fire departments, but also there are some nonprofit agencies. Now I'm going to be talking about the 5 goals of the Marin Wildfire Prevention Authority. So the first goal being vegetation management. And this goal focuses on reducing hazards and fuels using ecological and sustainable practices in Marin County. And most of this work takes place in woody areas, which are areas that are at high risk of wildfires in Marin County. I'm going to get more into detail about the vegetation management work that the MWPA does in the next couple of slides. The second goal is detection, alert, and evacuation. And there's actually a lot of research that is being done by the MWPA within this goal. So this goal focuses on research. Mostly there's a lot of research going on, but with the goal to improve early detection of wildfires, for example, receiving efficient alerts and warnings, and improving evacuation routes for residents all across Marin County. The third goal is grants. So the MWPA provides local grants. So they have a local grant program that financially assists residents to reduce fire risk in their homes. And Maria, a past fellow, actually gets to work on this. And goal number 4, which is public outreach and education. And in this goal, the MWPA focuses on providing public information to raise awareness about wildfire preparedness. And it does this a lot in collaboration with Fire Safe Marin, which is a member agency, which I'm also going to talk a little bit in the next couple slides. And the last goal, the 5th goal, which is defensible space and home hardening. And in this goal, the MWPA provides residents with home evaluations through fire agencies. And in this way, they can provide resources to create a defensible space in residents' homes. So this is a little bit, it's tied. Goal number 5 and 3 are tied. But now I'm gonna get into more details about the goals that I focus on. So the goals that I focus on were vegetation management and public outreach and education. So first I'm gonna talk about vegetation management. So in this goal, I got to work a lot with Ann Kriglock, which is she's the planning and program manager for the MWPA. So she was my mentor during this past 11 months. And what I did in this goal of vegetation management was supporting small agencies. Usually these member agencies, most of them are small staffed, just like the MWPA. But the great thing is that all of us with the member agencies, we get to collaborate and support each other. But the work that I got to do is supporting member agencies with environmental compliance with the projects that they wanted to implement in different cities or areas in Marin County. So I got to assist with preparing and filing notices of exemptions, notices of determinations for small local projects and core projects. One of the examples of the projects that I got to work on shortly after I started my fellowship was a notice of exemption for Stinson Beach, where they did a fuel reduction project. So vegetation management. So that was pretty fun. I got to work on doing the project description, visiting the site, assisting with biological surveys, mostly just being in the meetings, present, about what the results for the biological surveys were, and meeting with consultants that were helping us out, and lastly, filing this at the Marin County clerk office. Another area that I got to focus in a lot when it came to vegetation management was project monitoring. So one of the main projects that I got to do project monitoring for was the Greater Ross Valley Shaded Fuel Break. And a shaded fuel break, basically it's a buffer zone, usually around the perimeter of communities that are adjacent to WUI areas. And the goal of these buffer zones is to slow down fires, so it is easier for firefighters to control it. And the MWPA has been working on making the Greater Ross Valley Shaded Fuel Break since last year, and it's a pretty big area. It's around 31 miles. And as you might imagine, it's not a project that can be done all at once. So it usually is broken down into project areas. So far, we're around halfway done, but each project area might have its own requirements, might have their unique sensitive species that we need to watch out for. So every time we're gonna go to a new project area for the Greater Ross Valley Shaded Fuel Break, we need to basically start the progress all over again. So we go flag the area, there's biological surveys that are done at each specific area, and then we can assess how the vegetation management projects are going to be implemented depending on all the surveys. So I got to assist on some of the flagging and tagging of the project areas using CalTopo mostly. And then I also got to work on taking before and after photos while doing the project monitoring area. Working on the project monitoring, sorry. And another thing that I wanna note about the shaded fuel breaks in general, and the work that the MWPA does is that is mostly like removing any hazardous fuels, for example, and we always make sure that we retain the canopy, also that we're protecting native and sensitive species. And sometimes it might involve some fuel reduction treatments as well, which I'm going to be talking about. So here you can see some of the examples. So it's not that we leave the entire area bare, no trees or anything like that. You can still see that we're retaining the canopies. We're removing invasive species like French broom. And yeah, so here are some of before and after photos examples that I got to work on. Now I'm going to be talking about fuel reduction treatments, which is another type of projects that I got to work on. So the fuel reduction treatment that the MWPA mostly does is herbicide treatment and prescribed pile burning. So one of the project that was pretty fun to work on was a prescribed pile burning that was done during May, I believe. And we accomplished the prescribed burn of 70 piles across the city of San Anselmo. And this project was really exciting because I got to work on it from start to finish. So planning how many piles we were going to burn, coordinating with the Bay Area Quality Management District, and also with the Marin County Fire Department, which was the department that did the pile burns. I didn't get to do the pile burns myself because I'm not certified yet to do it, which I'm in the progress of doing that, so maybe in the future. But it was really fun to, work on the permits and coordinating all this project to get it implemented. And then I got to go see the pile burns and take some really cool photos. Some of the process also involves making notices for the residents, making notices for Marin County in general, so they're aware, placing A-frame signs around the areas that this is going to be done. So there's a lot of coordination that is involved, not just getting to do the pile burn, from one day to another. So it's been fun to see what is the process that goes before implementing a project. Because I think in the past, I've been used to like, hey, go do this, but I don't really know what is the all the work that has been done before even getting to do that out in the field. Another type of fuel reduction treatment that I got to work on was herbicide treatment, mostly just working on the notices for this, but most of the herbicide treatment that the MWPA does, or at least for the greater Rose Valley shaded fuel break has been for French broom, which if you're familiar with it, it's pretty, it grows really quick. It's really hard to get rid of. So this is a way to prevent it from growing. Now I'm gonna be focusing on talking about goal number 4. So how I help in public outreach and education. So when I moved to Marin County, I never really spent much time in Marin County. And I think I had a certain perception about Marin County when it comes to diversity. But actually, Marin County is pretty diverse. And the second biggest population in Marin County is Hispanic or Latino, actually 17% of the population. And a big portion of the Hispanic or Latino population are newcomers. So as you can imagine, language is a huge barrier and obstacle to prepare and adapt to wildfires. I've had the chance to talk with residents in Marin that identify as Hispanic or Latino. And they have expressed how maybe they don't feel unsure about how to prepare. Maybe they receive alerts that are only in English. Evacuation lists maybe might not be in Spanish, so they're confused about what to do. So I was really interested as I got to know more Marin County, that I wanted to start working on enhancing accessibility and inclusivity. And I've been able to do this alongside Fire Safe Marin, which is a member agency that focuses on public outreach and education. So some of the things that I got to work in is at the beginning of my fellowship was mostly translated public educational information into Spanish. This included website content, monthly messages, evacuation lists, voiceovers, and video scripts. So basically creating doubles of all the resources that MWPA and Fire Safe Marin has. Also created the Spanish version of like informational flyers for grants, for cheaper days, which is another program that the MWPA has, and just like general information. And I also got to diffuse information about wildfire preparedness through videos for local TV. And also I got to do some local radio interviews, which was pretty intimidated to jump on, but it got easier as time went by. So I will do these, the videos maybe sometimes will be every 2 weeks, or translation, I think, was a pretty weekly task. But for videos, maybe I got to do this twice a month, and some Marine TV interviews. And here's an example of one of them.
Es un hermoso día. Sí. Temporada de incendios forestales se acerca. Estas son 3 cosas que ayudarán a preparar tu jardín. Primero, limpia cualquier material combustible dentro de 5 pies de tu hogar para protegerlo de brasas ardientes. Segundo, corte los pastos anuales y maleza y vuelva a hacerlo cuando crezcan. Tercero, pode arbustos, plantas y árboles para crear espacio y levantar copas. La adaptación a los incendios forestales requiere mantenimiento. Visita firesafemarine.org.
So that's one of the examples of the work, or one of the videos that I got to record and do the script for. So that has been super fun to work on with Fire Safe Marin. And we're still putting more videos out there as well. But they're similar to this, where we want to make sure that they receive the same resources as everyone else in Marin County. So this is something that I want to continue to work on. Sorry. And now I'm going to start talking about my professional development and training during these past 11 months. One of the big accomplishments for professional development was earning my Master of Science from the University of California, Merced, which I got to defend my thesis back in December, and also graduated in December. So half of my fellowship I spent it finishing my master's degree. So that was a huge accomplishment. I also got to attend some conferences, both that were for my research interest, and also some that are more for career development. So I got to attend the Yosemite Symbiosis Symposium, where I got to give a talk about my research. I also got to attend the Together Bay Area Conference. I actually got to run into Armando Quintero, who is now the director of all California state parks. And just a funny story, he was my mentor back when I was at UC Merced, because he was the executive director of the UCNR. So yeah, full circle of life, I guess. It's been fun to run into people and see what they're doing now. And I also got to attend the California Wildfire and Forest Resilience Task Force. And some of the trainings that I took were some SQL trainings, some ArcGIS and Python trainings through the UCANR resources. So now what's next for me? I'm actually going to be sticking around for a second year. As you can see, the MWPA does a lot of diverse different type of projects. So I feel like I barely got to scratch the surface, and start feeling confident about all the work I'm doing. And I just want to continue to do that. So in the next year, what I'm going to be focusing on is assisting the MWPA with building the GIS infrastructure. We actually started working on this back in May. I'm also going to hope to continue learning the ropes of environmental compliance. So I hope to keep working with Anne a lot. And right now I'm in the progress of completing the firefighter type 2 training. So I'm going to be finishing that probably in the next couple months, and I hope to attend more conferences and trainings, anything that might come along the way that might benefit me professionally. And lastly, some acknowledgements. I want to thank my friends and family, mostly for all their support while I was like doing two big things at the same time, and the fellowship and completing my master's degree. And also, I want to thank Anne and Mark for being super flexible and supporting and my different types of interest, my academic interest. And also a big shout out to all the crew members that actually get to do probably the hardest work out in the field, and always being super welcoming every time I go out in the field to do some project monitoring. And also thank you to Brian and Mike, who have helped me a lot to get familiar with Marin County. It's been kind of challenging to navigate, how to get around Marin County, especially when it comes to project areas, because most of the project areas are around private residences. So I think I'm used to being in national parks, or federal lands where you just get a map and you just walk on a trail or something. You don't have to ask permission to go inside. So they have helped me a lot to get familiar with like better access points and just to get to know Marin County in general. And also thank you everyone that is here to watch these presentations today. And that's it for today. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. I think we have the ability to probably take maybe one comment or question, but you have so much appreciation in chat as well.
Liza, if you don't mind, Mark from Marin Wildfire. Just a comment that it was just such a pleasure to watch Andrea grow and mature through her fellowship, from being kind of reserved and sitting back and afraid to offer input, to seeing her completely step forward and give her opinions, give her ideas that helped us improve, and then get in front of a camera and do so many videos. It was just awesome to watch, and we're looking forward to her second year.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I feel like we've barely even scratched the surface of how much you've done this year, Andrea. So we're so deeply impressed. Yeah, Martina, would you like to say something?
I would just like to echo Mark's comments. I've had the pleasure of working very closely with Andrea and with Elena, whose presentations happened before this one, but just you guys have been awesome additions to the team, and it's been wonderful getting to know you guys and seeing the product of your work, but also being someone who greatly benefits from having you guys around. This has really been a great experience. And I mean, Mark said it best. He says everything best, but I mean, I can't say enough good things about Andrea and Elena on our team. So great job, guys.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, well, I'm going to stop recording now.